Welcome back, everyone. I just want to say I appreciate you guys being here for just a couple minutes of your day. I appreciate you guys. So this is a book review of Winter's Heart. Look at this freaking cover. This book made me so mad. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I was not thrilled. I was not happy at all. Like, at all. This book, I felt like I wasted like a week of my life reading this book. So yeah, anyways, we're gonna do spoilers. I'm gonna just say spoilers now before we get real jiggy with it. Yeah, I was correct. I did a bunch of predictions of ratings for my books, and I said this was gonna be a 2 out of 5, and it was.
No way!
It was a 2 out of 5. Without a doubt, it was not that good. Truthfully, I'm super pissed. But we're gonna talk about the likes first. There's only a few things I liked. The ending, not because the book was over, well, sort of. The ending of this book was actually pretty dope. You got to have Rand and Nynaeve use like these like statues to connect the one power together to make it so you get rid of like the taint of siding the power for men, to get rid of like the evil like voices to make them go crazy, to take that away. I really like that element. Now that chapter was super long, and there was like a lot of elements of a lot of other characters just showing up and being like, what is going on? You know, like, that was cool. I really liked that chapter. I thought it was a really good chapter. And it's sad because it was just like, that was like the only chapter I really liked. But you got to see Matt, which was really cool. But the whole chapters with Matt was, he's just helping some Demandrin. Sorry, I'm really bad at pronouncing these names. It's the Sea-Chans, it's the girls, the Aes Sedais that are like basically prisoners. Throughout this whole book, all these chapters, Matt was doing nothing besides walking around trying to figure out how to let these girls escape, which is fine. I didn't think that was bad, but like all of his chapters were actually somewhat entertaining. But for the most part, I just was not impressed with these chapters. I felt like most of them were just dragged on, and a lot of it could have been condensed. A lot. So those are the likes. The rest of them are just like, A, I didn't like them, or B, it was just like, why? But I'm going to talk about the biggest thing I really, really hated about this book. Like, legit hated. And I'm pretty sure I confirmed this in my March TBR video, I think. I'm going to have to rewatch that to see if I was right. But with Winter's Heart, I had a prediction that Winter's Heart and Crossroads of Twilight could have been one book. And it was sort of right now. I'm like, oh my gosh, it could have actually been one book. And I haven't even read Crossroads. But I'm mad because you waste like the first 10 chapters of Perrin just walking around figuring out how to say Fael. And guess what? He doesn't say Fael in this book. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I thought for sure this book, he would have like, I thought the book was going to be majority about Perrin's POV, where Perrin was going to save Fael. I thought for sure that was going to happen, but it didn't. I was so mad. I literally had the last 5 chapters. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way Perrin's in these. There's no way. Because Perrin was like in the first like 8 chapters. I feel like Robert Jordan's like, I got you guys. Here's Perrin. And then the rest of the time, it's just weird, random BS. And that's what it was. Because Perrin, nothing happens. He's with some Ashman, and the Ashman can, you know, use gateways to go to other places. And they're like, you know, we can do that for you to help you quicken these, you know, speed this along so you can find Fael. And he's like, nah, we don't need that. I'm like, bro, this would save you so much time if you just had the Ashman just go to different places to try and find your wife. And I'm like, oh gosh, it just made me so mad. And like I said, when I was at the last 5 chapters of this book, I'm like, there's no way he's gonna do this. And he did. He ended up doing it where, you know, you don't know if Perrin's gonna say Fael. And I'm gonna be honest between you guys, I hope he doesn't. Fael, I don't like Fael. Fael is a terrible wife. Like, she is a terrible person. She's not nice at all. She treats Perrin like dirt. Anyways, though, I'm kind of like, fingers crossed. But yeah, that was honestly one of my biggest gripes. Another thing that happens in this book where, I mean, I didn't like dislike it. I honestly thought it happened in the last book. But Avienda and Elena, like, right off the rip, their chapter, they became full sisters. No, it was the prologue. It was the prologue where they became full sisters. I don't know. They became full sisters in this finally. And then Rand finally gets to talk to all 3 of his wives. And I'm going to tell you, That's a little weird. It's just so weird that they're all like married to Rand. Like Rand literally has 3 wives now, and I'm like, why? Like I get like they all love him, but at the same time, I'm like, why? Like realistically, why do they love him so much? Because like the only characters I guess that would make the most sense of who would love him is Min and Avienda at first, because Avienda spent a lot of time with him in like books 4, 5, and 6, I think. So you spent a lot of time with him, and then now Min is like, Rand doesn't want Min away from him. So I'm like, all right, so Min and Avienda make the most sense. But Elena met him once, and she's like, oh, I love him. And then they spent some time together, and that, just to me, it just doesn't feel like any of their relationships feel organic. They all treat him like garbage, and Rand isn't even that good to them. I'm like, why are these guys all together? Like, none of this makes any sense. And like Elena's like now like pregnant because she was like, Rand, I want something that you gave the other two.
Yeah, boy.
So they were just like hooking up. And the weird part is they're all like connected for like being wardens or something like that. The other 2 girls could like sense when Rand and Elena were like going at it. And I'm like, man, this is just a weird thing. And I don't know how I feel about it besides just saying it's weird. Another thing I didn't like about this book is Rand gets captured again by Padon Fane, and guess what? Rand gets stuck in a box again. But this time it wasn't like as long. Like Lord of Chaos, fire. Like Lord of Chaos, I think is arguably probably my favorite one. I would have to. I'm not gonna reread them, but I would have to like. I want to do a ranking of the Wheel of Time books eventually. But anyways, Rand gets stuck in a box again, and I'm like, oh my gosh, really? And then he gets out of the box in like the next chapter. I'm like, what was the point of this? Like it just, gosh, I just felt like so. One of the comments I had on Path of Daggers, why the slog is the slog is because I guess the publishers just told Jordan just to write as many books as he wants because they're making so much money. Just keep writing it, and I'm like, honestly, if I was Robert Jordan, I'd be like, no, I'm just gonna write the books that need to be written and then just call it good. I feel like this series would be a banger if it was like 6 books. No joke, this would be a banger series if it was like 6, maybe 7 books. But it's so long, and there's honestly most of these books just feel like you could just skip them. I feel like the slog you could probably skip and just do like cliff notes. And you're like, oh, okay. Like the slog you could skip, it feels like, and then Dragon Reborn you probably could skip, and like Fires of Heaven, those are all like cliff notes you could probably do. Like I'm just saying, it just felt repetitive that Rand got stuck in another box, and I'm like, Rand, you should have known this stuff. And honestly, I don't even like Padon Fane because it's like he just shows up, is a dickhead to Rand, and then he just is gone again. And you're like, bro, what was the point of any of this? I don't know. I could rant about this series in general, which I plan on doing a video of it eventually, but like Winter's Heart, 2 out of 5, not very good. Probably, it might be the worst one of the series so far. And I gotta read Crossroads of Twilight, which I have been told that is the worst book of the series. But honestly, I don't really like most of these books. But I'm gonna finish it. That was my goal this year, is to finish the series. So there's that. But, oh god, this book was rough. If you guys made it to the end of the video, or end of my ranting of Winter's Heart, I do appreciate it. Make sure you guys check out all my socials down below. And of course, make sure you guys stay safe, stay hungry, and tell someone you love them. I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.